Well, hello there, Tom Green, and I'm here for some fireworks goodness. And today's goodness revolves around working with imaging in fireworks and getting it ready for output. And it's really quite interesting how you can really work with some great images, and how quickly it works. So let's jump into it. So I'm going to start with an image that I took inside the main cathedral in Bern. I just happened to walk in. There was a symphony orchestra playing. And of course, I want to use this in a web page, but holy smokes, it's 2,592 by 380, 3872. That's a little on the big side, and so I got to get this fixed fairly quickly. Now, I know this is going to go into an area that is roughly about 500 pixels wide. So what I can do here in Fireworks is just select the image, come to the Modify menu, Canvas, Image Size, and I just change the width. So if I take the width here, change the width to 500. Notice that the height comes down to 747. Click OK. And it shrinks. And you can see I'm still looking at 19%. So if I go to 100%, there's the image. And then just to make sure that I haven't got any extra in there, I just fit the canvas, and now the image is set to fit. And it's decided that we really don't need all this here. We're going to need to crop it. And we're going to need to crop it to a specific size, but we got to keep the width. So we're going to crop that. And here's where it gets really cool. The width and the height is actually the crop height. So if I want to take this height to 500 by 300, well, let's say 500 by 400, just so you can see it. If I go 400, see, it moves up and down. So I can do crop height by the numbers right off of the PI. So I'm going to take this to 300. And then just move it down a little bit, right about there. Perfect. And then hit the Return Enter key, and there we go. Done. Now, if I click on the image, I know that it's a JPEG image. And now what I want to do is sort of optimize this puppy. So I'm going to come to the Optimize panel, which is, well, I'm just going to pull it up here. There it is right there, the Optimize panel. And it's telling me that it's a JPEG image. And if I come to the preview, it tells me not only is it a JPEG, but that it's approximately 86K in size. Now, what if I were to take this down, say, to, instead of a JPEG, let's try a Ping 8. Well, it dropped 110K, or it dropped 10K. And the imaging looks pretty good. And what if I were to change it to a Ping 24? Well, it goes up in size because there's that alpha channel in there. So Ping 8 looks like it works. I can also change it to a GIF image if I choose. Problem with the GIF image, of course, is that you tend to wind up with all kinds of problems there. Now, there are other things that I can do here, so I'm just going to just go back to the JPEG that this was, and I want to show you another little thing that you can do. Sometimes you just want to sort of find the right settings, and if you had listened to Brandon when he was talking about his adventures with the batch processing tool, he likes to keep images at a certain percentage, or JPEG images at a certain percentage. And one of the things you can do with this application is not only do them at certain percentages, but you can also compare them. So there's the original image. And this image here, I'm going to select it, and I'm going to knock the image quality back to about, I think it was the 85 that Brandon uses, 85%. And you see that it's dropped now to 49K. The original size is 86, so it's already half size. And if I select this one, and I want to say, okay, fine, 85% is there. Let's try 70 and see what that does. And then I can get the magnifying glass and zoom in and compare quality across the board. And at 70% quality, it drops to 29K from 86. And it really doesn't look like there's much of a difference other than a little bit of change in here. Now, if I come in here and just choose, say, oh, I don't know, go with a preset like a JPEG smaller file, it's going to drop it down to 60 quality. And I don't think I'm going to be too happy with that, to be honest with you. But what would it look like if I had a JPEG at 80 quality and a ping 8? Well, the ping 8 is a little bit on the brighter side. Let me just zoom out here. But part of the problem is that I'm starting to lose color. You can see I'm losing definition. So I got to take it up to a ping 24, and that kind of defeats the purpose. So you see that what you can do is you can actually play what-if games. And once you decide on something, you just click on the one you want, and that is what gets applied. Another place where you can do this, by the way, is select the image on the canvas. Let's just get it, put a slice up here. I want to show you what you can do. You can take a slice. I'll just slice the image here. And you can actually apply compression to the slice. You can see it's a foreground image, and I can apply JPEG compression to that particular slice if I so choose. And it shows up in here. See, there's the quality of 80. If I go for the smaller file, it goes down to 60. So it's picking up the defaults in here. So I can do that right off of here. The other thing, of course, I can do is rename the slice. I can just select it, and away we go. Now, there's another type of compression you can do, and it really works well for JPEG images. And it's called selective JPEG. So I'm going to pop over to an image here, and I'm just going to turn off what's called a JPEG mask here. I'm just going to remove the mask. And what we're going to do here is we're going to compress this image, but what we're going to do is keep her at very good quality, but this is sort of a background area. Nobody's going to miss it if it's looking a little out, because first off, it's a depth of field going there. It's fuzzy. So what you do is you apply a selective JPEG mask to it. And to do that, what you do is you select the area to be masked and then apply the mask. So I'm going to do that, and we'll pick that up on the other side. Okay, so I've roughly made a selection here. I'm just going to make a couple little tweaks to it just to get it fixed up here. Oops, wrong. Sure, you're like me. You keep forgetting which modifier works. Okay, so we're going to pull this in a little bit more. Just like that. There we go. That's fine. Okay, I will take that out a little bit. Okay, so I've got the lady selected here, and the plan is to modify this thing, or to compress this thing in such a way that the background is compressed, but the woman, this beautiful lady in the foreground. And I must admit, I love going to Paris. Paris has the most interesting people, and I just happened to come to a local market, and there she was selling bread. So what you do is you make your selection, and I'm going to select inverse. So that's right here, select inverse. And what I want to do is protect her, but compress this. And you do that using selective JPEGs. So you go to Modify, Selective JPEG, Save Selection as JPEG Mask. And what you get there is a mask, and it looks just like what you guys would use in Photoshop for Quick Mask. And then on the outside here is the area that's going to be compressed. Now, if I bring the Optimize panel over, the selective quality is going to be the lady here. And I follow Brandon's directives, so I can go 85. And then I can take the quality of this of the masked area down, we'll just say to around, we'll say 70. And what that will do is seriously reduce the file size. that goes in the web page while maintaining the integrity of the foreground subject. And if I want to take a look at the mask as a selection, I can do that. And the other choice in here is settings. So the settings are I can set the default quality for the selection. I can set the overlay color, which is this pink here. And if I've got any text or button, I can preserve the quality of that if that's inside the selection. And finally, I can remove the JPEG mask too. So I can restore the JPEG mask as a selection, and then modify, select, remove JPEG mask. And you can see that it still maintains that quality, but you can mask out the areas that you want to protect. So that's selective JPEG. I think it's a huge advantage to working with this application. Now, another thing that you can do is actually take little images and slice them down. Or not slice them down, but compress them down. And here's how you do that. So I've got a little button bar here. I just got 5 luck and some guy here and an Illustrator piece of clip art and a camera and a little Spitfire plane. And let's start with the Spitfire plane. So I've got that done. I know that I want to jam it down or compress it. So I'm going to come to preview, just like that. Now everything else here will actually gray out if I have it sliced. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put some slices on this. So I'm just going to select each of these, come back to original, and select each of these. You'll see what I'm talking about as soon as I get it done. And we're just going to throw a rectangular slice around each one. Multiple slices, thank you very much. And I better put a slice around the Spitfire. Insert rectangular slice, there we go. And now what I want to do is take a look at the Spitfire. Now again, with the slices, I can actually apply compression. So we'll start with GIF 216. And now I'm going to go to preview. And watch what happens. I'm going to select the airplane, select preview. And these all gray out and my plane appears. And I can see that it's down to 612K. And if I want to reduce the colors, because there isn't that much color in there, I can take it down to 128 colors. And you can see that it doesn't reduce all that much. So we can try Web Adaptive. It's 657. Okay, so let's try Ping 8. Well, that's 616, so that works. And it's got 128 colors. The other thing I can do is set a matte color. And that will take out the background of that color, of whatever it's sitting on. Because we'll just take that out. So that's that one. And then if I come back to the original, I can come up to the Illustrator drawing and preview it. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to make it you notice it's a Ping 32. I'm going to make it a GIF. And you notice, again, I got the transparency in here, which is good. And it's now 3K, but I think I can make it smaller. There aren't that many colors in there, really. If I take it down to 32 colors, you'll notice that the file size drops by a K, and it really doesn't affect the quality at all. So I'm going to go with that, back to original. And got this guy here, which is a drawing. And if I preview him, I can turn him in probably to a JPEG. And I can knock the quality way back to about 70%. So he drops from 12 to 3K, and that doesn't look to be too much of a bad change here, but if I'm dealing with Brandon, I got to deal with this 85%. So we'll try 85. And it went up 2K, so that's not bad. And if we try Ping 8, Notice I got the transparency in here, and it goes down to 4.62, so I can get away with that as well. The 5 luck here, if I click on it, and notice everything else grays out, so you can actually click on objects in preview. If I go to 5 luck here, I can take a look at it. And I got a bit of a gradient in here, so that tells me, if I go with a GIF, I'm probably going to get banding. And yeah, I get a bit of an edge along there, so that's not part of the equation. So I can take a look at maybe going with a ping 8 again. That's a little bit better. And if I come to the camera and turn it into a GIF image, that's not too bad because it's a bit of a solid color. It's only 3.9K. I don't think there are that many colors in there, so let's try to see what happens if I take it down to 64 colors. I got a little bit of stuff going in here, and one of the great things is I can zoom in and take a look. Yeah, I'm starting to lose some detail here, so if I come back up to 128K, you notice that the detail starts to come back, file size goes up. So what you can do here is you can actually start playing with the optimized panel, and each graphic in your image, try and eke out as much as you can. So if I take this and I just change it to a JPEG smaller file, because it's just an icon, it's not that big. So it's down to 1.9K, 60, and the quality is only 85%, so it's not bad. So there we go, guys. There's using optimization. If I double click this, you can take your icons or whatever, buttons and things like that, and optimize them. You can bring in great big images, crop them down, apply JPEG compression to them. You can do 1 up, 2 up, 4, or 2 up and 4 up comparisons to see how the settings work based upon quality. And if you really are stuck, select your subject, mask it, and then apply selective JPEG compression to the outside of the mask. So there you go. There's some of the imaging techniques that you can actually use with Fireworks. If you are anal about getting things as small as you can with the highest quality that you can, I don't think you can beat this optimized panel, and especially the 4-up view. In the next preview, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at batch processing. Of course, Brandon stole my thunder, but he's asked me to do it at the pro level, so that I think I'm going to do that. And so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take an entire photo of images that are the same image size as the Bern Cathedral, 2400 by 3200. Going to get them down to 800 by 600, and with a couple of mouse clicks, throw them into a swift slideshow and get them up on the website. So I'll see you there.